2 months after the divorce, Daniel still wasn't used to the silence in his small suburban home. The laughter that once filled the living room had faded into quiet routines and long, lonely nights. He was trying to be strong for his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, trying to rebuild his life, trying to pretend he wasn't hurting as much as he really was, but on one chilly Thursday morning, an unexpected knock echoed through the house. Daniel opened the door and froze. Standing there, nervous and unsure, was the last person he thought he'd ever see, his ex-wife's younger sister, Emma. And what she said next would change everything. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Tales River for more heart-touching stories like this. Give this video a like if you enjoy emotional real-life narratives, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us keep these stories flowing down the river. Daniel stood in the doorway, gripping the edge of the frame. Emma looked different than he remembered, older, more tired, her usual confidence replaced with something gentler. She held a small paper bag in one hand and her phone in the other, like she couldn't decide whether to leave or stay. "Can we talk?" she asked softly. Daniel hesitated, unsure whether inviting her in would reopen wounds he had barely begun to heal. But kindness, he believed, was something Lily deserved to witness, especially now. So he stepped aside. Inside, the house was modest but warm. Toys were scattered near the couch, a half-folded basket of laundry sat on the table, and Lily's drawings covered the fridge. Emma's eyes softened as she took it all in. "I brought breakfast," she said, offering the bag. "Just thought you two might like something homemade." Daniel nodded politely, still unsure. Only after she placed the bag on the counter did he ask the question lingering between them. "Why are you here, Emma?" She took a breath, steadying herself. "Because I realized something after the divorce. Something about how my sister treated you. And I think you deserve an apology, even if it's not from her." Daniel didn't know what to say. Apologies were rare lately. Understanding was rarer. Before he could respond, Lily shuffled out of her bedroom, sleepy-eyed with her hair sticking up in every direction. "Aunt Emma," she murmured. Emma knelt down with a smile warm enough to melt the room. "Hey, sweetheart. I've missed you." Lily didn't hesitate. She ran into her arms. Daniel watched, surprised by the tenderness of the moment. Lily had always liked Emma, but after the divorce, he had assumed that whole side of the family had silently cut ties. This reunion was unexpected. But maybe unexpected wasn't always bad. They sat together at the small kitchen table, eating the homemade blueberry muffins Emma had brought. Lily chatted excitedly, showing Emma her school projects, while Daniel mostly listened. He wasn't sure where this was going, but then Emma revealed the real reason she had come. "I know what you're going through," she began quietly, after Lily ran to get another drawing. "My sister, she's complicated. You were always patient with her. More patient than I ever was. And when the marriage fell apart, everyone blamed you because it was easier." Daniel swallowed hard. The accusation rang familiar. "But it wasn't you," Emma continued. "And I'm sorry we didn't stand up for you." He wasn't expecting this. He'd spent months thinking he was alone in the story of how everything fell apart. To hear someone from the other side, acknowledge his pain felt strangely healing. Still, he shrugged it off. "It's in the past." "Maybe," Emma said. "But that doesn't mean you should carry the weight alone." Her kindness caught him off guard. He realized that kindness isn't always loud. Sometimes it whispers, sometimes it knocks on your door with a bag of blueberry muffins. As weeks passed, Emma visited more often. Not daily, not enough to interfere, just enough to make life a little less heavy. She'd stop by to drop off groceries, help Lily with a school project, or simply sit with Daniel on the porch and talk. One evening, as autumn leaves rustled across the street, Emma arrived looking anxious. "I got a call," she said. "My sister, she's struggling. She's been staying with friends, not working, not doing well emotionally." Daniel felt the familiar sting of old wounds but also a quiet sorrow. Divorce didn't erase his care for the woman he once loved, it simply changed it. "She asked about Lily," Emma added. And about you? Daniel tensed. What did she say? That she regrets a lot. But she's too ashamed to reach out. The words hung in the air. He looked over at Lily, playing with crayons on the rug. She deserved a world where kindness wasn't selective. I won't keep her from Lily, he finally said. But she has to choose to show up. For real. Emma nodded, relieved. Over the next month, something unexpected happened. Daniel and Emma began forming a friendship, one built on understanding, shared concern, and quiet compassion. She helped him navigate co-parenting challenges. He listened when she talked about her own life struggles. They became each other's calm in a storm neither had chosen. Kindness, they realized, wasn't about grand gestures. It was about presence. It was about showing up when it mattered, even when it was awkward, uncomfortable, or inconvenient. One December morning, it finally happened. Daniel opened the door and found his ex-wife standing there, trembling. Her eyes were swollen, and she clutched her coat like she was holding herself together. I'm sorry, she whispered. The apology felt real. It felt earned. And though it didn't erase the past, it softened the hard edges. They talked, slowly, cautiously. She apologized to Lily too, promising to do better. Daniel didn't know what their new dynamic would look like, but he knew forgiveness wasn't weakness. It was freedom. After she left, Daniel stepped outside to breathe. Emma joined him, standing with her hands tucked in her jacket. You did good, she said. Thanks, he replied. You helped make it possible. Emma shook her head. You made the choice. I just knocked on your door. Daniel looked at her, gratitude filling the space between them. Sometimes that's all it takes. Snowflakes drifted lazily around them. Lily called from inside, wanting both of them to come help decorate the tree. Emma smiled. Guess we better go. As the weeks turned into a new year, Daniel realized something profound. Life had changed in ways he never expected: divorce, healing, forgiveness, rebuilding. But the greatest transformation came from a single act of kindness. A knock on the door. A gesture of understanding. A willingness to show up. Emma didn't just bring muffins. She brought hope back into a house that had grown too quiet. The story reminds us that kindness doesn't always arrive wrapped in perfection. Sometimes it shows up messy, unplanned, even a little uncomfortable. But it shows up, and that's what matters, because kindness, real kindness, doesn't just mend hearts. It changes lives. So the next time someone you care about is hurting, knock on their door. Even if you're unsure. Even if you're scared. Even if you don't know the right words, you never know, your kindness might be the miracle they've been waiting for.